Hi, this is Sabrina Gibson. I'm a social media strategist, and I've had an awesome opportunity to really look at a lot of different companies and see how they can improve their social media efforts. And let me ask you a question. Is your company currently participating in events? And what I mean by that are you attending conferences? Are your employees attending conferences? Are you hosting events? Are you putting together any type of events or attending trade shows? Well, here's the thing. Can you imagine if you could leverage every single one of those events and leverage it to the point where you extend the marketing efforts of those events? So often I see many companies not doing this. They just are showing up, they do the event, even trade shows, like they'll do a fair amount of planning to get to the trade show, put a lot of planning into what the booth looks like. They're spending thousands of dollars, and they're just really not leveraging their opportunity there. So in this video, I'd like to talk about 3 ways that you could leverage events using content calendars as a way to really get more out of your marketing, or how to maximize your marketing. So let's just talk about content calendars for a second. If you think about it, it kind of makes a lot of sense if you think about even what the words mean. Content calendar is really nothing more than a calendar that identifies all your opportunities to produce content. And if you're doing social media at all, I'm assuming that you have a social media strategy, and this content calendar should really be part of that social media strategy. When we work with companies, we actually put together content strategies that identify key things all throughout the year. So these are events that you're attending, events that your employees are attending, trade shows, events that you're hosting, every single type of opportunity of an event that we can possibly think of, we put on the calendar. In addition, we also take a look at where our brand advocates are. So whether they're media people or maybe they're people who are influencers within our industry, we take a look at their calendars as well. One of the things that people miss oftentimes when they're putting together a content calendar is really looking at key magazines and what they're actually reporting on, because you can really leverage those opportunities. Let's face it, magazines are looking for content, and why not tie right into their content calendar by producing content a little ahead of their content calendar. So that's a strategy in itself, is just to be able to either piggyback on the conversation that's already happening, or be a little bit ahead of the conversation so that you can leverage off of their efforts as well. So again, when you're putting together your content calendars, there's lots of things that you want to take a look at. And once you have your calendar together, you should be producing content within 3 months. And that still gives you room and flexibility in case something comes up. You can produce a piece of content relatively quickly to be responsive. So let's take a look at this. I want you to imagine that you attend a trade show. And let's just say that for the sake of conversation, you choose not to get a booth, right? Imagine what would happen if you coordinated with the people at the event saying, hey, I'd love to interview some key players. Would it be okay if I brought my camera crew, set up outside, and we interviewed people, right? Oftentimes you don't even have to ask permission. You don't even have to attend the event. You can just let them know that you'd like to give them extra media coverage of their event. And what you can do is identify the key players that are attending that event and interview them. Right? What's happening in the background? Well, you're going to brand the entire background with your logo, your information. You're going to put a really great reporter there just to really interview. And this could be someone within your company. You know, obviously, if you've got someone who loves to interview, or even if they're not that good at interviewing, you can give them a few questions to ask every single person, right? And then all of a sudden you become this amazing survey, live interactive video survey of key questions of influencers within the event. Well, if you do this, if you imagine you get 100 of these interviews, you've just created 100 pieces of content. And if you just do nothing except for post those videos, then you've created 100 pieces of content. Now, what we do is we take that content and we repurpose it, and that's really the other part of your content calendar you should be including, is how to repurpose content. For instance, if you're collecting video, it's very easy to take all of those questions that you collected, those 5 questions, and I'm using this example in this video, to take those 5 questions and compile the information across each question and then produce each one of those as a report or an ebook or whatever you want to put. You could even put it as just one strong article. And then you're identifying those people, and guess what happens is usually when you identify people and you tag them within the article or say, hey, you've got this person got featured, what do? They share it to their networks, and then all of a sudden you've got a lot of people sharing your one piece of content. You can create things like slide shares, or put together a PowerPoint presentation just with really great pictures about key points that you learned from those videos. You can take the videos and have them all transcribed and create additional blog posts and put your commentary around it and add the video in as a reference, and then put beautiful pictures and things from the event. So there's lots of different things that you can do. But a part of it just goes into planning, because we feel like companies oftentimes when we go in there, they're feeling like knee-jerk reaction, like, oh my gosh, it's Tuesday, we didn't do Friday's content, what's going on, right? And they're freaking out. So it's really great to have all these planning things put ahead of time and really thinking. Sometimes it's just as easy as asking, well, how can we leverage the content, or what else could we do with this content? So there's lots of different opportunities. So I hope this helps you, because events are expensive. There's a lot of money that goes and time that goes into either attending an event, creating an event, hosting an event. So why not leverage those? Why not take full advantage of that? And sometimes it means that you hire people, a little bit more people to do the video, to produce the content, to manage that piece of it. But the content lives forever online, and if you position it properly and you put it inside of your social media strategy, what happens is you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck, as they say. So I hope this helps you. If you have questions around the events that you're doing and how to leverage those for your social media efforts, or if you have questions around your social media strategy, I'd love to have a conversation with you. I believe that all relationships start with a conversation, so feel free to call me directly. My number is 949-293-6821. Thanks so much.